Before we get too far into the coding for web services, it's important to understand what XML is and how it works. The acronym XML stands for Extensible Markup Language. It is essentially designed as a light, universal method of transmitting data from computer to computer or from program to program. It is completely self-descriptive. Tags are defined by the author of the XML document and must be interpreted by the reader. There are, however, a few basic requirements for a valid XML document. So I will go into Notepad++ and demonstrate a few of the basic principles of XML coding. The syntax for tags is a less than sign, followed by the name of the tag, followed by a greater than sign. For example, what we have here, message, could be considered a tag. Whenever a tag is placed in a document, all text after that tag is considered to be a part of the tag, at least until you place the closing tag. A closing tag is exactly the same as the opening tag, but you add a slash right before the name. So to close this message tag, I would type in slash and then message. Every XML document must begin with a root tag, and when that tag is closed, the document is finished. This ensures that computers can quickly and easily determine the start and end points of a file. The structure is similar to that of HTML documents, but the main difference is that XML files don't have preset tags. Users can define whatever tags they want as long as the reader of the file also understands them. Tags can be nested to an arbitrary degree. For instance, you could write root and then message and then P for paragraph, and then you could write in your message, and then you could simply close each of the tags in reverse order. What this essentially means is that we're defining an XML document using the root tag. Then we are defining this as a message using the message tag, which is purely an organizational tool that will help out the reader. And then we're using the P tag to define it as a paragraph of text. Note carefully the order of tags that I used here. P was the last tag used, so it can be thought of as the innermost element. This means that P must be closed before its parent can be closed, or else the file will not parse. In this case, the 3 closing tags were in the reverse order from the 3 opening tags for precisely that reason. Similar to HTML documents, the tags in an XML document can have an attribute value, like an ID or a class. As with tag names, there is no restriction on what the attribute names can be, although their value must be a text string. To add an attribute to an element, specify it with the opening tag with the format attribute name equals and then the value in quotation marks. For instance, I could record an ID number for a message with the tag message ID equals quotation marks 123, and this will apply the ID for the entire body of the message. There is no need to specify the attribute for the closing tag, so what I've got here is already sufficient to identify this message uniquely with the ID of 123. Note that tags and attributes are both case-sensitive in XML documents. Whatever your opening tag is, the closing tag must match it exactly or the file will not work. The simplest practice to avoid this kind of trouble is to use only lowercase letters in tags. For instance, in all of these tags here, for root, message, and P, they're all written in lowercase letters. The attribute value and the content of the message can be written with uppercase letters because they will only ever be referenced one time, so there is no risk that you would use different cases in different situations. Because of the way XML documents are structured, there is no one right way to format an XML document. However, there are certain standard forms for XML files with specific rules about the syntax and tags that are used. If you intend to distribute an XML file publicly, it's a good idea to look up and follow one or more of these standards just to make things easier on people who wish to use your programs. As with all code, if you expect more than one person to use your program, then you should make sure to use good documentation.